A cruel fact of life is that every once in a while, we all get the sads. Sometimes being alive is upsetting, and we find ourselves on the struggle bus on a one-way trip to a hard time. Don't feel bad, it's part of being human, and thankfully there is a magic antidepressant out there that'll help turn that frown upside down. Heavy fucking metal. Beneath the barrage of blast beats and beastly screams on the surface lies an art form that can powerfully affect one's mind and emotions. Metal has become such a massive subculture precisely because of the emotion it elicits in the listener. So I thought it would be an interesting topic today to explore some of the ways metal music can affect people's mental health, both positively and yes, even negatively. So grab your journal and your therapy pillow as we take a look at the connection between metal and mental health. So headbang the like button, stage dive on the subscribe button, and windmill the video to your friends. If you're a fan of the channel and you'd like to show your support, consider becoming a member. Memberships are only 99 cents a month, and each one really helps me toward my goal of creating a life-size Godzilla to invade Canada. And now let's talk about heavy metal and mental illness. Most fans of metal music will admit to discovering the world of heavy metal during a time of awkward adolescence. Most of the sweaty metalheads with battle vests filled with patches and beer stains started out as shy kids who felt a little lonely and out of place in the world. Being a kid and feeling like you don't fit in with the other stupid popular kids. Maybe not having many friends at all, not having any self-confidence, and just being a little bundle of emotion you're too young to process. Usually the heavy metal fairy finds the young child here and introduces them to heavy metal through some friend or relative or internet thread, and they'll discover that the first and most immediate way that heavy metal affects someone's mind is in the immediate intensity of the music. Right away, it's loud, it's hard-hitting, and engaging. Whether someone likes it or not, it immediately grabs their attention. Metal's intensity already affects its listener by raising adrenaline and filling them with excitement. While the song is playing, the listener enters an energetic mode where they can connect with these intense impulses. If a song's mood is fun and lighthearted, the listener can feel joyful and cheery. If the song is angry and intense, the listener can interpret it either as a stress reliever, being able to channel their own stress and release it through the music, or if they can't release the stress entirely, they can still find solidarity in the music. The aggressive nature of the music could signify to them that it's okay for them to be going through those emotions. It's also why songs in other languages can still be powerful to a listener who doesn't understand the words. Just the sound and the implication of the tone can be powerful enough to transcend language. For further proof of this effect, you can even observe it with some animals. Ever seen some type of animal rocking out to their favorite song? Exactly.
We've had a super great reaction to bands like Slipknot, Pantera, and even some Ozzy Osbourne. So like super heavy bass, lots of guitar, lots of rhythm.
Matt believes the best music to attract big sharks is death metal.
All right, let's just try some Darkest Hour.
Clearly they aren't connecting with the lyrics or the meaning of the song, they're connecting to the energy that's filling their body with excitement. That energy is created through the melody and the beat and vibration. Something about that rumble in your bones with a heavy bass seems to elicit an oh shit feeling in all species. While most parts of society shun channeling the darker, more complicated side of emotions, metal faces them head on defiantly. So if it can't rid someone of their problems, it can loudly reassure them that they don't stand alone. Even if their only reassurance in life is the music, hearing powerful riffs, blasting drums, and a vocalist piercing through the darkness with defiant lyrics can be enough to encourage a lost soul to continue fighting on. To a boring normal person, a death metal song might sound like getting a knife caught in a garbage disposal, but to a metalhead, it can be a reassurance that it's okay to have those intense feelings. Whether it's in terms of adrenaline-filled fun or facing personal demons, metal gives listeners a place to face their challenges rather than suppress them. Metal seems to be one of the only music genres whose lyrics tackle complex emotional issues with more than just the redundant, don't worry, be happy simplicity of most popular genres. Due to its immediate extremity, metal can feature deep personal journeys through one's psyche, facing topics like depression, loneliness, feelings of unworth, trauma, and suicide without feeling out of place or judged for it. For some some lonely kids out there, lyrics in a metal song may be the first time they hear someone even speak about mental issues that they're experiencing. That's why metal often becomes such a strong foundation of support for the listener. It's not just a distraction from their problems. It can actually be a way of finding the strength to face them. The majority of metalheads out there will openly admit to turning to metal in their darkest times for support and encouragement. It's not uncommon to see these long hairs covered in tattoos and beer stains fully in tears at metal concerts because that band or song has such a personal impact to them. Especially in countries with stricter laws on personal expression and what is socially acceptable, metal can be their gateway to freedom. Metal's lyrical themes regularly discuss personal strength, overcoming adversity, and being your true self. Even the fun, violent, and gory lyrics about hacking heads off with a chainsaw can still elicit feelings of joy and excitement in the listener, just like how sometimes watching a really entertaining horror film can perk you up. Lyrics don't need to be literal to have a deeper interpretation to someone. There's gotta be metalheads out there whose wedding song is Hammer Smash Face. Doesn't make them psychos. Well, maybe. Metal is often considered a huge community of outsiders, where people who stand out in normal society can be surrounded by like-minded, similarly dressed weirdos. In the metal world, the weirdos are the norm. It's a bastion for extreme people to unite, free from judgment, to celebrate the dark, the extreme, and the exciting. Most other communities might balk at you for making jokes about your favorite serial killer, but in the metal community, they'll just tell you that Dahmer is for posers while they pound back another beer. You know that feeling when you've seen a really good movie or played a really good video game, and you're dying to talk about it with someone, but none of your friends have seen it yet? Well, entering the metal world when you're a new fan is like stumbling into the world's biggest fan club of that thing that you love. It's rather difficult to find someone who's just a mild metal fan, who enjoys some songs here and there, but doesn't make that much out of it. Most metalheads are obsessed, and since its inception, metal has had a brotherhood mentality. Outsiders tend to look out for each other, and when that's combined with pulsating riffs, hammering blast beats, and moshing friends at a metal show together, it can feel more like brothers fighting alongside on the front lines. Lifelong friends who were brought together by their love of metal and grew into strong bonds of brotherhood. That brotherhood may consist of a lot of strained necks and raggedy hair, but hey, it's still nice. I know for me, discovering metal and going to concerts was the first time I felt connected to a community and attached to a subculture, and many of my lifelong friends and best memories in life were made at metal concerts and festivals. If you had a kid who was a bit awkward, down, and a loner, would you rather them sitting alone in their room stuck in their heads all day, or out with a group of friends and a community that celebrates art and fun? They may get some bruises out of it, but hey, they'll be happier. While this sense of community and free expression are very important factors to metal's power in mental health, it does even reach a deeper level when it comes to cases of more severe mental issues. In cases of severe autism, depression, even some cases of schizophrenia, heavy metal can actually be a powerful therapeutic. Many autistic metal fans out there say they're attracted to the music because it's often very complex, far more technical and intricate than standard music on the radio. For a high-functioning autistic, extreme metal and the quick pattern changes in technical death metal can actually help them feel more calm and focused, like getting a derailed train back on the right track. And what could just seem like uncontrolled chaos to the average person can be an interesting, intricate puzzle that stimulates their mind. Same can be said with some cases of schizophrenia. Whether the music distracts them from the noises in their head, or it's the structure of the song that calms their mind, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not a doctor. But I do know that even death metal music can heal sometimes. Of course, this is not a blanket solution for all such cases. I'm not saying go to your local mental health facility and start blasting obituary. For many out there, metal can do the exact opposite. And someone who struggles with sensory overload, anxiety, or again, autism and schizophrenia could find the loud blasting of metal far too chaotic and upsetting. But in some cases of mental illness, an extra dose of blood-pumping metal can be a surprisingly positive benefit. But of course, we must keep in mind the violence, horror, and gore of metal's themes and lyrics that make it oh so entertaining. Many of metal's adversaries throughout the decades have pushed back against it, saying that it can cause kids to be violent and become desensitized to real-world violence. This long-time debate has largely cooled in recent years, but is it possible that these clenched up, stick-in-the-ass moms from the 80s could have had a point? Now, obviously, the vast majority of heavy metal fans are not criminals and murderers, as much as they wish they were. And a kid who understands reality versus fiction will not suddenly become a serial killer because they listen to Cannibal Corpse. Just like the majority of Mortal Kombat players have never ripped anyone's heart out of their chest before. Mostly. It's true that a normal person won't listen to death metal and decide to kill someone. But a psychopath already suffering from a delusional bloodlust would probably be drawn to Cannibal Corpse's music for that exact reason. You know what I mean? It's like a game of what came first, the metal or the school shooter. Same with video games. A kid can love playing Grand Theft Auto and be perfectly fine and healthy. And another kid could be obsessively playing it as a way to echo their inner poison thoughts. When it comes to metal, most are attracted to it for its brash, extreme, powerful, emotional, and fun energy. But a psychopath about to violently break from reality might also be attracted to it, just for very different reasons. But when these terrible instances do occur, I do think it's foolish to blame the music. That egg was already cracked, and it was going to spoil no matter if it found metal or country or gambling. No normal person hears metal and goes insane, but an already insane person could possibly hear metal and use it to further their delusion. So if your kid starts listening to Autopsy, have no fear, they're probably going to be fine. But if your kid starts listening to Autopsy on repeat over and over again while writing their classmate's name on their wall with lipstick, then you might want to have a little chat. Thus, metal is one of the few forms of music that can be as intricate and complex as the human mind. It's not afraid to venture into darkness and embrace emotion, to face subjects and barriers most too often fear confronting at all. For how global and massive heavy metal is, it's very much at its core a personal relationship for the listener. The songs become more than just background noise. They can signify massive achievements in your life. They can represent the inner power you discovered to face and overcome challenges. Blast beats and breakdowns can feel like a breath of fresh air, and the screams from the vocalists can ignite your spirit even after the concert has ended. For me personally, metal was always there when I felt I was at my lowest. It encouraged me to be strong mentally. When I felt alone, the lyrics and the music were there to keep me inspired to continue, and I hope it can for you too. If you're someone who's feeling down, alone, confused, afraid, or whatever it is, perhaps the metal world can be a powerful, positive force in your life as well. Have you had any personal experiences where metal music helped you navigate a situation or fight through hardships in your life? Let me know in the comments below. And before I end this video, I have one final thing I'd like to add. It is not a paid advertisement, don't freak out. Some viewers of this channel may know that I had a good friend who is a World War II veteran named Jack Gutman. Jack had survived both the invasions of D-Day and Okinawa, and he dedicated his life to helping others. I did an interview with him that I posted on this channel that you can find. I was lucky enough to become his friend, and last month, sadly, he passed away just before his 99th birthday. His family has started a GoFundMe to raise enough to get him a plaque at the Veterans Memorial to honor his memory. I have absolutely nothing to do with this fundraiser. I will not touch this money in any way at all, but it's something that's very personal and means a lot to me. So I just wanted to mention it here. No one has to, but if anyone would like to chip in and help them out, that would really mean a lot to me. The link is in the description for this video. For more from me, check out my band Dark Insanity. You can find us on Instagram, on Spotify, on all of the streaming platforms, on Bandcamp as well. We have our EP Rabid Psychosis out now. We've got merch available for the channel and for the band. Now you can get White's Metal t-shirts, Savior of Metal hats, Dark Insanity t-shirts, Dark Insanity weed bags. We've got everything. Links for all of my stuff can be found in the description of this video. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.